Hello everyone, welcome to MrBenShow, and welcome to another episode of Doki Doki Literature Club. Episode 2, you can't see me. So, that's different for an intro. Yeah, we'll just get started. Hi again, Graham. Glad to see you didn't run away on us. Haha.
Nah, don't worry. This might be a little strange for me, but I at least keep my word. Well, I'm back at the Literature Club. I was the last to come in, so everyone else is already hanging out.
Thanks for keeping your promise, Graham. I hope this isn't too overwhelming of a commitment for you. Make you dive headfirst into literature when you're not accustomed to it.
Oh, come on, like he deserves any slack. Sayori told me and you didn't even want to join any clubs this year. And last year too. I don't even know if you plan to just come here and hang out or what. But if you don't take us seriously, then you won't see the end of it.
Natsuki, you certainly have a big mouth for someone who keeps her manga collection in the club room.
Natsuki finds herself stuck between saying Monika and manga. Manga is literature! See, we said that earlier. Swiftly defeated, Natsuki plops back into her seat.
Don't worry, guys. Graham always gives it his best as long as he's having fun. He helps me with the busy work. He helps me with busy work without me even asking. Yeah, I don't know why I'm having cotton mouth. Like cooking, cleaning my room.
I just go to her house and cook and clean for her. Wow.
How dependable.
Sayori, that's because your room is so messy, it's distracting. And you almost set your house on fire once.
I swallowed it the wrong way. Is that so? Okay. Is that so?
Perfect.
Oh, great. You two are really good friends, aren't you?
I don't like how you make her voice deeper. It worries me. Like, if she comes out turned into be some buff dude, I'm gonna be, like, really upset.
I might be a little jealous. How come you and Graham can become good friends? How come you and Graham become good friends too?
Sayori.
Huh?
As usual, Sayori seems oblivious to the weird situation she just put me into.
Oh, Yuri even brought you something today, you know? Wait, Sayori.
Me?
Not really. Don't be shy. It's really nothing.
What is it?
Never mind. Sayori made it sound like it's a big deal when it's really not. What do I do? I'm sorry, Yuri, I wasn't thinking.
I guess that means it's up to me to rescue this situation. Hey, don't worry about it. First of all, I wasn't expecting anything in the first place. So any nice gesture from you is a pleasant surprise.
Here, I wrote this poem about pain.
You're gonna love it. It'll make me happy no matter what.
Is that so?
Yeah, I won't make it a big deal if you don't want it to be.
Alright. Well, here.
Yuri reaches into her bag and pulls out a book.
I didn't want you to feel left out, so I picked out a book I thought you might enjoy. It's a short read, so it should keep your attention, even if you don't usually read. And we could, discuss it if you wanted to.
Ooh. This is... How is this girl accidentally being so cute? She's being a nerd and somehow I like that? She even picked out a book she thinks I'll like, despite me not reading much.
I'm some kind of fucking nerd as well.
Am I turning into a nerd? No.
Nerd.
Yuri, thank you. I'll definitely read this. I enthusiastically take the book.
Phew. Well, you can read it at your own pace. Because you're fucking dumb and all.
Right.
Don't read. I look forward to hearing what you think.
Now that everyone's settled in, I expected Monika to kick off some scheduled activities for the club. But that doesn't seem to be the case. Sayori and Monika are having a cheery conversation in the corner. Yuri's face is already buried in a book. I can't help but notice her intense expression, like she was waiting for this chance. Meanwhile, Natsuki is rummaging around in the closet. I'm really curious to talk to Yuri a little bit
Gotta
more.
hide all the manga.
Yeah, right. But at the same time, I would feel bad for distracting her from reading. I catch a glimpse of the cover of her book. It looks like the same book that she lent to me. More than that, she seems to be on the first few pages. Crap. I think she noticed me looking at her. She sneaks another glance at me and our eyes meet for a split second. Oh, this is a nice little audio change here.
Did you notice her eyes?
No.
Oh, they moved to look straight at you.
Oh. Creepy. But that only makes her hide her face deeper in her book. Sorry. I was just spacing out. I mutter this, sensing I made her uncomfortable.
Oh. It's fine. If I was focused, then I probably wouldn't have noticed in the first place. But I'm just rereading a bit of this, so...
That's the book that you gave me, right?
Uh-huh. I wanted to reread some of it. Not for any particular reason, but if we're gonna have a fucking conversation, you know.
Right. Not that I had to refresh my memory.
I gotta at least carry it somehow, because you're
Right.
an idiot.
Just curious, how come you have 2 copies of the same book?
Well, when I stopped at the bookstore yesterday, and that's not what I meant. I just so happened to buy 2 of them.
I see. There's something fairly obvious here that Yuri isn't telling me, but I decide to let it go. I'll definitely start reading it soon.
I'm glad to hear. Once it starts to pick up, you might have a hard time putting it down. It's very engaging and relatable story.
Is that so?
Yeah, it's about a peasant.
Is it about a boy who joins a book club full of hot girls? What's it about anyway? Yuri closes the book and scans her eyes over the back. The book is titled Portrait of Markov. There's an ominous-looking eye symbol on the front cover.
Alright. I just wanted to make sure I don't accidentally give anything away. Basically, it's about a girl in high school who moves in with her long-lost younger sister. But as soon as she does, her life gets really strange.
Completely relatable.
Spooky. She gets targeted by these people who escaped from a human experiment prison. I don't know what word I was gonna try to say. Excalibur.
Excrement prison.
And while her life is in danger, she needs to desperately choose who to trust. No matter what she does, she ends up destroying most of her relationships. Her life starts to fall apart.
Yeah, this sounds just like my life. That's kind of dark, isn't it? Yuri made it sound like it was going to be a nice story, so that dark turn came from nowhere. Yuri gently giggles all of a sudden.
Are you not a fan of that sort of thing, Graham?
No, it's not that. I mean, I can definitely enjoy those kinds of stories, so don't worry.
I hope so.
Yeah, I totally forgot that Yuri is into those things. She's so shy and reclusive on the outside, but her mind seems to be completely different. She's a freak in the sheets.
It's just that those kinds of stories, they challenge you to look at life from a strange new perspective. When horrible things happen, not just because someone wants to be evil, but because they have their own goals and their own philosophies that they believe in. Then suddenly, when you thought you related to the protagonist, they're made out to be a naive. They're made out to be the naive. What the fuck? Recalculating. They're
It's
made
that
out to be
hardcore flute solo in the background.
naive one for letting their one-sided morals interfere with villainous plans. I'm rambling, aren't I?
You are, Yuri. You are rambling.
Yeah, I can't shut up. Not again. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Hey, don't apologize, but maybe just don't talk as much. I haven't lost interest or anything.
Well, I guess it's alright then. But I feel like I should let you know that I have this problem. When I let things like books and writing fill my thoughts, I kind of forget to pay attention to other people. So I'm sorry if I end up saying something strange. And please stop me if I start talking too much.
Like now? I really don't think you need to worry. That just means you're passionate about reading. The least I can do is listen. It's a literature club, after all.
That's true.
In fact, I might as well get started reading it. But I might as well get started reading it, right?
You don't have to.
Ah! What are you saying? Just a moment ago, you said you were looking forward to it.
Not so much anymore.
Let me just get the book.
I think you're ugly. I'm gonna return this.
Yeah, let me take this back.
Still got the receipt.
I quickly retrieved the book that I had put into my bag. All right, it's fine if I sit here, right? I slip into the seat next to Yuri's. Let me just slip into this seat.
Yeah.
Are you sure? You seem a little apprehensive.
I'm sorry. It's not that I don't want you to. It's just something I'm not very much used to. Not very used to. That's it. Reading in company with that is reading in company with someone.
I see.
Yeah.
Well, just tell me if I end up distracting you or anything.
All right.
I open the book and start the prologue. I soon understand what Yuri means about reading in company. It's as if I feel her presence over my shoulder as I read. It's not a particularly bad thing. Maybe a little distracting, but the feeling is somewhat comforting. Yuri is in the corner of my eye. I realize that she's not actually looking at her own book. I glance over. It looks like she's reading from my book instead. Get your own book!
Sorry. I was just...
Yuri, you really apologize a lot, don't you?
I do? I don't really mean to. Sorry. I mean...
I don't know if that was a laugh. Ahaha! Here, this should work, right? I slide my desk until it's up against Yuri's, then hold my book more between the two of them. Oh, I'm getting smooth in literature
I suppose
class.
so.
Yuri timidly closes her own copy. Once we each lean in a little bit, our shoulders are almost touching. It feels like my left arm is in the way, so instead, I use my right hand to hold the book open. Ah, I guess that makes it kind of difficult to turn the page.
Here.
Yuri takes her left arm and holds the left side of the book between her thumb and forefinger. Ah, I do the same with my right arm on the right side of the book. Now it's like we're that two-headed dragon on Dragon Tales.
Yeah.
That way I turn a page. Yeah, you know, because they got the arm on either side and the two heads.
Hell yeah.
That way I turn a page, and Yuri slides it under her thumb after it flips to her side. But in holding it like this, we're huddled even closer together than before. It's actually kind of distracting me. It's as if I can feel the warmth of Yuri's face, and she's in the corner of my vision.
It's burning me. Are you ready?
Eh?
To turn the page.
Sorry. I think I got a bit distracted for a second. I glance over at Yuri's face again, and our eyes meet. Oh man, our eyes eyes are looking at me, and I don't know how I'll be able to keep up with her.
That's okay. You're not as used to reading, right?
I don't mind. Oh.
I don't mind being patient if it takes you a bit longer. It's probably the least I can do, since you've been so patient with me.
Yeah. Thanks. We continue reading. Yuri no longer asks me if I'm ready to turn the page. Instead, I just assume that she finishes the page before me, so I turn it on my own volition. I don't even ask her.
Fuck your permission.
Right. We continue the first chapter in silence. Even so, turning each page almost feels like an intimate exchange. What happened to the other people? What are we just forget about them.
They're just reading.
My thumb gently letting go of the page, letting it flutter over to her side as she catches it under her own thumb. Hey, Yuri. This might be a silly thought, but you wanna make out? The main character kind of reminds me of you a little bit.
You think so? How does she?
Well, I guess she's more blunt in a lot of ways, but she's also second-guesses all the things that she says and does. Like she's afraid she'll do something wrong. It's not like I can see into your head or anything, but they're kind of reminiscent of some of your mannerisms.
I see.
Oh, now we're set up. We're like, enough of this. Yuri remains silent for a moment.
But Graham, that's probably a terrible thing to have in common with her.
Yeah.
That's so embarrassing that you'd think that.
Wait! I didn't mean it in a bad way or anything. You're nervous and self-doubting in a good way. Sorry, I really didn't know you were self-conscious about that sort of thing. Just self-conscious about everything else, apparently. I knew you were self-conscious, but not self-conscious about your own self-consciousness. Oh. I guess I more meant that it's kind of cute. No, that flipped her immediately.
What are you saying all of a sudden? Okay, everyone. Huh? I think it's about time we share today's poems with each other. We might not have enough time if we wait too long. You better shut the fuck up. Get away from my dude.
Yeah. Get out of here. Yuri exhales, spared from finishing her thought.
Is that alright, Yuri? You could look kinda down. I'm sorry if you haven't been looking forward to this. It's not. It's fine.
Yuri releases her hand from the book, causing it to close on top of my thumb.
Ow!
Jesus! Alright. I guess I'll do some more reading tonight. Or would you prefer I only read it with you? Are you trying to read a book and chill?
I guess I don't have too much preference either way.
In that case, I'll read a little more tonight. It'll be more fun to read with you after it picks up a bit, you know?
That's good reasoning. In that case, feel free to finish the first 2 chapters in your own time.
Alright. I stand up.
Gotta read and then...
I make a mental note of where I left off in the book, then slip the book into my book bag.
By the way, did you remember to write a poem last night?
A poem? No. Yeah. My relaxation ends. I can't believe I agreed to do something so embarrassing. I couldn't really find much inspiration, since I've never really done this before.
Well, now that everyone's ready, why don't you find someone to share with? I can't wait.
Sayori and Monika enthusiastically pull out their poems. Sayori's is on a wrinkled sheet of loose leaf torn from a spiral notebook. On the other hand, Monika wrote hers in a composition notebook. I can already see Monika's pristine handwriting from where I sit. Natsuki and Yuri reluctantly comply as well, reaching into their bags. I do the same myself. Mine's scribbled on a napkin from McDonald's.
Who do you want to share a poem with?
Oh, who do I want to show? Who should I show my poem to first? Well, I already hung out with
Sayori, but you
and
wrote
Yuri.
your poem is a lot of Sayori's words, but also, yeah, we haven't spent any time with Natsuki. Or Monika, really. But we apparently know Monika.
Yeah. I'm gonna go to Natsuki. Well, no, I mean, that's me. Well, fuck it. I'm just gonna do it.
You gotta do them all at some point.
Yeah. Oh, well. I told Natsuki I was interested in her poems yesterday. It's probably only fair if I shared mine with her first. Huh? Well, it's about what I expected from someone like you. That's a little blunt. Well, excuse me. It's not like I said it was bad. It just doesn't evoke any emotions. So basically, it's not cute enough for your tastes. Do you want to get smacked? I'll pass.
Do you want to tumble?
Yeah. Well, anyway, I guess I need to show you mine. Not that you'll like it. Eagles can fly. Monkeys can climb. Crickets can leap. Horses can race. Owls can seek. Cheetahs can run. Eagles can fly. People can try, but that's about it. Yeah. I told you that you weren't gonna like it. I like it. What? Just be honest. I am. Why are you so convinced that I wouldn't like it? Well, because everyone in high school thinks that writing has to be all sophisticated and stuff. So people don't even take my writing seriously, but the eagles do fly. But isn't the point of poems for people to express themselves? Your writing style wouldn't make your message any less valid. Yes, exactly. I like when it's easy to read, but it hits you hard. Like in this poem. Seeing everyone around you do great things can be really disheartening, so I decided to write about it. Yeah, I understand. But the other nice thing about simple writing is that it puts more weight on the wordplay. Like I set up for a rhyme at the end, but then made it all fall flat on purpose. It helps bring out the feeling in the last line. I definitely just didn't run out of rhymes. It was all on purpose. So you did... I guess more went into that than I realized. That's what it means to be a pro. I'm glad you learned something.
That's me.
A pro poem writer. Didn't expect that from the youngest one here, did you? Yeah, I guess not. I decided to humor her with that last comment. I don't really care how old everyone is, but if Natsuki is feeling proud, then I won't take that away from her. Who should I show my poem to next? I'm gonna go to Monika.
Monika?
Yeah.
Hi, Graham. Having a good time so far?
Yeah.
Good, glad to hear it. By the way, since you're new and everything, if you ever have any suggestions for the club, like new activities or things we can do better, I'm always listening.
Can we get some more dudes in here? It's kind of being it's like a clam fest.
Don't be afraid to bring things up, okay?
All right, I'll keep that in mind. Of course, I'll be afraid to bring things up. I'm much better off just going with the flow until I'm more settled in.
Anyway, want to share your poem with me?
It's kind of embarrassing, but I guess I have to.
Haha. Don't worry, Graham. We're all a little embarrassed today, you know. But it's that sort of barrier that we all have to learn to get past soon.
Yeah, that's true. I hand Monika my poem.
Mm-hmm. Great job, Graham. I was going ooh in my head while reading it. It's really metaphorical. I'm not sure why, but I didn't expect you to go for something so deep. I guess I underestimate you.
It's easiest for me to keep everyone's expectations low. That way, it always counts when I put in some effort.
Ha, that's not very fair. Well, I guess it worked anyway. You know that Yuri likes this kind of writing, right? Writing that's all full of imagery and symbolism. Unlike Sayori, who likes simple and direct words to describe happiness and sadness. Yuri likes when the readers are left to derive their own meaning out of it. It's very challenging to write something like that effectively. both allowing people to get something or just to buy it. What the fuck was I reading? Or letting them deeply analyze all of the nuances. It could take years of practice, which I'm assuming Yuri has at this point. I never really asked, though.
Sounds like this one's trying to tell you who to hit on.
It is. Yeah, well, because when you make the poem, depending on what words you pick, dictates like which girl will like it the most.
Yeah, I think it's like
So
your tutorial, like, hey, this is what you did, this is why.
Alright.
Word.
Yeah. Gotcha. She's really spelling it out.
Yeah.
I'm sure I'm nowhere near her level yet.
Don't worry so much about it, man. You do your own thing.
Oh, thanks, Monika.
Just keep exploring and learn by trying new things.
I'm sure I'll end up trying different things a lot. Because there's 4 of you. It could take a while before I feel comfortable doing this.
That's okay. I'd love to see you try new things. That's the best way to find the kind of style that suits you. Everyone else might be a little biased toward their own kinds of styles, but I'll always help you find what suits you most. So don't force yourself to write the way that everyone else wants you to write. It's not like you have to worry about impressing them or anything. Ha.
Aha!
Anyway, do you want to read my poem now? Don't worry, I'm not very good.
You sound pretty confident for someone who claims to not be very good.
Well, that's because I have to sound confident. That doesn't mean I always feel that way, you know?
I see. Well, let's read it then.
Hole in wall. It couldn't have been me. See the direction the spackle protrudes? A noisy neighbor, an angry boyfriend. I'll never know. I wasn't home. I peer inside for a clue. No, I can't see. I reel blind, like a film left out in the sun. But it's too late. My retinas?
Yeah.
It looks like it says my retinas. But I guess that's how you say it. Spell it.
Yeah, with the
already
font.
scorched with a permanent copy of meaningless image. It's just a little hole. It wasn't too bright. It was too deep. Stretching forever into everything. A hole of infinite darkness. I realize now that I wasn't looking. I was looking out. Or I wasn't looking in, I was looking out. And he, on the other side, was looking in.
Wow, did she just maybe admit to a murder right there?
So, what do you think?
It's very free-form.
Yeah, that's what it kind of
if
sounded
that's
like,
what you
right?
call it, right?
Or like
a-
witnessing a fight, and
Right.
then it was like, oh, I was the person fighting.
yeah, like from the very beginning, it's like it wasn't
Somebody
me,
else was
but
watching me.
someone might be dead. Sorry, I'm not really the right person to ask for feedback.
That's okay. Or it's okay. Yeah, the kind of style I've gotten pretty popular nowadays. That is, a lot of poems have been putting emphasis on timing between words and lines. When performed out loud, it can be really powerful.
What was the inspiration behind this one?
Murder! Well, I'm not sure if I know how to put it, but I killed a guy once. I guess you could say that I had a little kind of epiphany recently.
That I can get away with murder.
It's been influencing my poems a bit.
An epiphany?
Yeah, something like that. I'm kind of nervous to talk about deep stuff like that because it's kind of coming on strongly. Maybe after everyone is better friends with each other. Anyways, here's Monica's writing tip of the day.
Yes.
Sometimes when you're writing a poem or a story, your brain gets too fixated on a specific point or a specific person. If you try so hard to make it perfect, then you'll never make any progress. Just force yourself to get something down on paper and tidy it up later. Another way to think about this is, if you ever talk to Yuri again, I'll fucking kill you.
Yeah, right.
If you keep your pen in the same spot for too long, you'll just get a big dark puddle of ink. So just move your hand and go with the flow. That's my advice for today. Thanks for listening.
Thank you. Thank you, Monika. Oh, I just clicked.
Sayori!
Alright, well, that's fine.
Hi. This is a good poem, Graham. Are you sure it's your first time?
Of course.
Some kind of poem version?
Do I look like a
Poem version.
Do I look like I write poems? It's not that good. Am I the kind of guy who would be writing poems in his spare time? Yeah, exactly, Graham. You tell him.
I guess you're right. But that's why it impressed me. Well, to be honest, I was afraid that you wouldn't do it seriously. Or that you wouldn't write one at all. I'm really happy that you just wrote one. It just reminds me of how you're really part of the club now.
Not to mention the fact that I'm standing in front of you in the club room. Well, of course. I'm not really into it yet, but that doesn't mean I'll break my promise.
See? It's like I said before, Graham. Deep down, you're not selfish at all, you know? Trying new things like this for other people, that's something that really good people do.
Thanks, Sayori. I'm not sure if Sayori sees the full picture of my motive here. Then again...
I'm just trying to fuck.
Right. I can't deny that she's part of the reason I joined. Knowing how much this means to her and all.
Yeah.
I have to lie to myself. That's just because, you know, she just wrote it.
And I'm gonna make sure you have lots of fun here, okay? That will be my way of thanking you.
Alright, I'm going to hold you to that then.
Yay! Now you'll read my poem too, right? Don't worry, I'm really bad at this.
We'll see about that.
Dear sunshine, the way you glow through my blinds in the morning, it makes me feel like you miss me. Kissing my forehead to help me out of bed, making me rub the sleeping from my eyes. Are you asking me to come out and play? Are you trusting me to wish away a rainy day? I look above. The sky is blue. It's a secret, but I trust you too. If it wasn't for you, I could sleep forever. But I'm not mad. I want breakfast.
Hell yeah. That's my favorite one so far. Sayori. This is just a guess, but did you wait until this morning to write this?
No. Just a little bit.
You can't answer just a little bit to a yes or no question.
I forgot to do it last night.
Well, at least that makes me feel a little bit better about myself.
Don't be mean. I still tried my best.
Ah, yeah. It ended with, I want breakfast. I didn't mean to say that it was a bad poem. It came out nice, or how should I put it? It sounds just like you.
Really?
Yeah. Especially the last line.
I made eggs and toast.
Of course you did, Sayori. Even though you were late to school?
It's bad to skip breakfast. I get all cranky.
Well, I guess there's no point in arguing. Anyway, thanks for showing me.
This was so much fun. Monika's the best.
Ah.
Monika's the best.
Yeah.
But next time, I won't forget. And I'm gonna write the best poem ever.
Well, I guess I look forward to it. And finally, Yuri.
What's up?
As Yuri reads the poem, I notice her eyes lighten.
Exceptional.
Eh? What was that?
Did I say that out loud?
Yuri first covers her mouth, but then ends up covering her whole face.
Oh.
She holds back an ooh-woo.
He's going to hate me.
You really didn't do anything wrong, Yuri.
That's... I guess you're right. What am I going to get... What am I getting so nervous for?
Yuri takes a breath.
So... What kind of writing experience do you have? Your use of imagery and metaphors indicates you've written a lot of poetry before.
Really? Wow, that's a huge compliment coming from you. This is actually my first time, really.
Huh? A virgin?
Yuri stares at me blankly, then looks at my poem again.
Well, I know that. I just meant,
Yuri trails off, unable to find an excuse. She traces her finger along the words in the poem, as if breaking it down more thoroughly.
Yeah. Okay. This is the reason I was able to tell. It's just that there are specific writing habits that are usually typical of new writers. And having been through that myself, I kind of learned to pick up on them. I think the most noticeable thing I recognize in new writers is that they try to make their style very deliberate. In other words, they tend to pick a writing style separate from the topic matter, and they form fit the two together. The end result is that both style and the expressiveness are weakened.
Once Yuri finds her train of thought, it's as if her demeanor totally changes. Her stammering is completely gone, and she sounds like an expert.
Whoops. Of course. That's not something you can't be blamed for. There are so many different skills and techniques that go into writing even a simple poem. Not just finding them and building them, but getting them to work is probably the most challenging part. It might take you some time, but it all comes with practice and by learning by example and trying new things. And I also hope that everyone else in the club gives you valuable feedback. Natsuki could be a little bit biased though.
Biased? How?
Well, never mind. I shouldn't be talking about people like that. Sorry.
It's fine. I'm not sure if Yuri is apologizing to herself, to me, or to Natsuki. Do you mind if I read your poem now?
Please do. I love to share my thoughts process behind it.
Yuri smiles dreamily as if that's a rare opportunity for her, which itself is kind of funny. After all, isn't this supposed to be a literature club? Wow.
Ghosts under the light. The tendrils of my hair illuminate beneath the amber glow, bathing. It must be this one. The last remaining streetlight to have was... Is there like... No, there's not a read button to make it not cursive.
No, there isn't.
The last remaining streetlight to have withstood the test of time. The last yet to be replaced by the sickening blue-green hue of the future. I bathe, calm, breathing air of the present, but living in the past. The light flickers. I flicker back.
Nice. Deep.
I'm sorry I have such a terrible handwriting. Your handwriting's fine. Cursive is hard.
Right. What? I wasn't thinking that at all.
But it took you a long time to read, because it's cursive.
Ah. Well,
Ours
I just
don't
don't
look
read
like
script very often. I also just can't really read. I actually think your handwriting is pretty.
That's a relief.
Also, I liked the poem. Even though it's short, it was really descriptive.
It wasn't too short. I usually write longer poems.
Not at all.
I'm really glad you liked it. I'll be honest. Since it's our first time sharing, I wanted to write something a little bit more mild. Something easy to digest, I suppose.
Are you into ghosts, Yuri?
Uh-huh. Or hoo-hoo.
Yeah. Woohoo!
Actually, the story isn't about ghosts at all, Graham.
Really? I must have totally missed the point.
Well, I suppose you did only glance over it after all. But remember, the poems often express their own thoughts, feelings, and experiences in the work. They usually do more than tell a simple story or paint a picture. In this case, perhaps the subject of the poem is the only being symbolically compared to a ghost. Lingering lingering in her last remaining place of comfort, unable to let go of the past. Like masturbating over an ex. And soon to be left with nothing.
That's a lot more solemn, putting it that way. I hadn't even thought of that. That's impressive.
Like masturbating over.
It's nothing really. Yours was impressive too, so...
Do I get to read mine? Nah. If anything, I could probably learn a thing or two from you.
You think so?
Yeah, of course.
You know, I was really nervous about doing all this, but in the end I enjoyed it. I'm going to keep doing my best for you, Graham.
Me too. Phew. I guess that's everyone. I glance around the room. That was a little more stressful than I anticipated. It's as if everyone is judging me for my mediocre writing abilities. Even if they're just being nice, there's no way my poems can stand up to theirs. This is a literature club after all. I sigh. I guess that's what I ended up getting myself into. Across the room, Sayori and Monika are happily chatting. My eyes land on Yuri and Natsuki. They gingerly exchange sheets of paper, sharing their respective poems. As they read in tandem, I watch each of their expressions change. Natsuki's eyebrows furrow in frustration. Yeah. Meanwhile, Yuri smiles sadly. What's with this language?
Did you say something?
Oh, it's nothing. Natsuki dismissively returns the poem to the desk with one hand. I guess you could say it's fancy.
Thanks. Yours is cute.
Cute? Did you completely miss the symbolism or something? It's clearly about the feeling of giving up. How can that be cute?
I know that. I just meant the language, I guess. I was trying to say something nice.
Eh? You mean you have to try hard to come up with something nice to say? Thanks, but that didn't really come out nice at all.
Well, I do have a couple of suggestions.
If I was looking for suggestions, I would have asked someone who actually liked it. Which people did, by the way. Sayori liked it.
I hope you know it.
And Graham did too. Everyone else but you liked it.
Monika.
So based on
Monika
that...
say something?
Right, I don't know. That's probably next. So based on that, I'll gladly give you some suggestions of my own. First of all...
Excuse me? I appreciate the offer, but I spent a long time establishing my writing style. I don't expect it to change anytime soon, unless of course I come across something particularly inspiring. Which your shit wasn't.
Yeah.
Which I haven't yet. And Graham liked my poem too, you know. And he even told me that he was impressed by it.
Natsuki suddenly stands up. Oh? I didn't realize you were so invested in trying to impress our new member, Yuri. What? It's fucking boingo music all of a sudden. The fucking mouth harp.
That's not what you're just...
Yuri stands up as well.
Maybe you're just jealous that Graham appreciates my advice more than he appreciated yours.
Huh? And how do you know he didn't appreciate my advice more? Are you that full of yourself?
No. If I was full of myself, I would deliberately go out of my way to make everything I do overly cutesy.
You...
Is everyone okay?
Well, you know what? I wasn't the one whose boobs magically grew a size bigger as soon as Graham started showing up.
Natsuki. Natsuki, that's a little.
That is not literature, ma'am.
That doesn't involve you. Or this doesn't involve you, that we were supposed to say that
At the same time.
Yeah. I don't like fighting, guys.
Suddenly, both girls turned towards me as if they just noticed I was standing there.
Graham! She's just trying to make me look bad.
That's not true. She started it. If she could get over herself and learn to appreciate that simple writing is more effective, then this wouldn't have happened in the first place. What's the point in making your poems all convoluted for no reason? The meaning should just jump out at the reader, not force them to have to figure it out. Help me explain that to her, Graham.
Wait. There's a reason we have so many deep and expressive words in our language. Is the only way to convey complex feelings and meanings the most effectively.
This kind of feels like a PSA, like an English class. Like I'm sitting here, like, and they're just trying to explain to me, there's many ways to write, you can do it, you know?
You can do it too.
Believe in yourself.
Avoiding them is not only unnecessarily limiting yourself, it's also a waste. You understand that, right, Graham?
Well, how did I get dragged into this in the first place? It's not like I know anything about writing. But whomever I agree with, they'll probably think more highly of me. So of course, that's going to be...
Who do you side with?
Oh, I can ask for help. I'm gonna ask for help. Natsuki! Natsuki glares at me, drying up any words I had in my mouth. So instead, I turn to Yuri. Yuri? But Yuri's expression is so defenseless that I can't bring myself to say anything to her. Sayori! Yeah! Everyone's fighting is making Sayori uncomfortable. How can the two of you keep fighting when you know you're making your friend feel like this?
Graham!
Well, that's her problem. This isn't about her.
I agree. It's unfair for others to inject their feelings into our conflicts.
Yeah, unless Sayori wants to tell Yuri that what a stuck-up jerk she's being.
She would never. It's your immaturity that's made her upset in the first place.
Excuse me? Are you listening to yourself? This is exactly why nobody...
Could've just picked one and then it'd been done.
This is exactly why nobody likes... Stop!
Natsuki, Yuri. Natsuki, Yuri. You guys are my friends. I just want everyone to get along and be happy. My friends are wonderful people. And I love them because they're differences. Natsuki's poems, they're amazing because they give you so many feelings with just a few words. And Yuri's poems are amazing because they paint a beautiful pictures in your head. Everyone's so talented. So why are we fighting?
Yeah. Because...
Well. Also, Natsuki's cute and there's nothing wrong with that. And Yuri's boobs are the same as they always were. I've been keeping track.
Right.
Big and beautiful.
I hold them every day.
Her boobs are big and beautiful.
Sayori stands triumphantly. Monika stands behind her with a bewildered expression.
I'll make some tea.
Yuri rushes off. Natsuki sits down with a blank expression on her face, staring at nothing. So this is why Sayori is vice president. So this is why Sayori is vice president. I whisper to Monika. She nods in return.
To be honest, I might come off as a good leader and I can organize things, but I'm not very good with people.
I'm not a bitch like Sayori.
I couldn't even bring myself to interject. As president, that's kind of embarrassing to me.
Nah. It's not like I can blame you. I wasn't able to say anything either.
Well, I guess that just means Sayori is amazing in her own ways, isn't she?
You could say that. She might be an airhead, a ding-a-ling, but sometimes it's weirdly suspicious that she knows exactly what she's doing.
I see. Take good care of her, okay? I would hate to see her. I would hate to see her get herself hurt.
There's a lot of hers in that. There's her.
There's a lot of H in that.
Yeah. That makes two of us. You can count on me. Monika smiles sweetly at me, causing my stomach to knot. Such a genuine person really does make a good president, regardless of what she says. If only I could get the chance to talk to her a little more.
Okay, everyone. It's just about time for us to leave. How did you feel about sharing poems? It was a lot of fun. Well, I'd say it was worth it.
It was alright. Well, mostly.
Graham, how about you?
Yeah, I'd say the same. It was a neat thing to talk about with everyone.
Awesome. In that case, we'll do the same thing tomorrow. And maybe you learned something from your friends too. So your poems will turn out even better.
Heck yeah. Oh, we're doing more poems. I think to myself, I did learn a little more about the kinds of poems everyone likes. With any luck, that means I can at least do a better job impressing those I want to impress. I nod to myself with newfound determination.
Graham! Ready to walk home?
Sure, let's go! Sayori beams at me. It truly has been a while since Sayori and I have spent this much time together. I can't really say I'm not enjoying it either. Even though I just called her an airhead. Sayori, about what happened earlier.
What do you mean?
You know, between Yuri and Natsuki.
What you said about her boobs.
Right. What? Can you give me more details on her boobs? Does this kind of thing happen often?
No. That's really the first time I've seen them fight like that. I promise they're both wonderful people. You don't hate them, do you?
No, I don't hate them. I just wanted your opinion, that's all. I can see why they'd make good friends with you.
Phew. You know, Graham, it's nice that I get to spend time with you in the club, but I think we need more drinks in the club.
Yeah.
But I
There's a lack of...
I think seeing you get along with everyone is what makes me the happiest. I think everyone really likes you too.
That's...
Every day is going to be so much fun.
Sigh. I said that too. Sigh. It looks like Sayori still hasn't caught on to the kind of situation I'm in. Sure, being friends with everyone is nice, but... does it really need to stop there? Tell me more about these boobs. We'll just have to see what the future holds, Sayori. I pat Sayori on the shoulder. I said that more to myself than to her, but it's easy to use Sayori as an internal monologue sometimes.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's do this. Damn it, I gotta pick another one.
You gotta finish off with the
I didn't get to
poem.
read my first one. I'm so upset. It doesn't give me the motivation to do another one, that's for sure. But I'm gonna go ahead and do it.
It's not about your poems.
You're right, it's not about me.
You could write whatever.
Yeah, you're right.
Easy. Fallible. Extraordinary. Kawaii. Poof. Melancholy, jumpy, vacation alone. Nature, color. You're not saying the words that you're choosing, you're just like...
I know, I'm sorry, I'm just like doing it in my head, like, alright, what do I want to do? I forgot I'm recording things, let me just see. Heaven sent, alright. I don't really have, I'm just trying to choose words that I didn't choose. There really is no strategy to what I'm doing, because I know that, like, you're supposed to choose things that make these people happy, but maybe, I don't know. Like, is that what, do I need to focus on one person, or does it matter, really?
It's whatever you feel like.
Okay, well, I feel like just doing it all over the place then, I guess.
Oh no, Patrick, I'm listening to one of the girls hop at the bottom.
Whatever words. Well, I mean, I'm sure that my brain is, subliminally picking things that how I feel. and I feel like a
Rare
a
massacre.
sad purple-haired lady.
Is that the end of day 2?
Day
Your
2.
wonderful, sad purple hair.
That's the
I would make
end
a
of
wonderful
day
sad
2.
purple lady.
So we're gonna call it there, of course, and
Yeah.
day 3 will be the beginning of the next episode.
Nice.
Share a new poem. We don't know what Patrick chose because he just chose all of those
It's
without
all
saying
random.
anything.
Well, if we were allowed to read the poems.
You could at least read the words.
You're right. I should have.
It's
Well,
all good, though.
I'm learning. So my third poem, I'll read them exuberantly.
Lord.
Okay.
Yeah, it's been fun. It's been real. Peace out, Cubs.
See
Bye.
ya.
I'm waving.